Welcome to a Discord video where we test Discord and overall what would happen if everybody joined a server without knowing that they were getting the admin role. What would occur and how would that all play out? We're going to test this. I will probably have to post the invite link quite a bit because I assume the server's going to get pretty crazy, but we're going to see what happens because I've never tried anything quite like this. I made a little Wooper server. I'll show you what it looks like before we start. It's just kind of simple. We got a nice little news section, a welcome section, a really dumb rule section, and some other just random chats. We're gonna see, what happens to the server, and yeah, how it all plays out. So we're gonna at everyone, and it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna say join the server. Because it's going to be for a video. Yeah, we'll say that. Okay, so everybody's going to join the server, and yeah, we'll see how this plays out, and yeah, we'll see how this works. It's just, honestly, it just got toxic. Nobody knows that they're admin as of right now. So, it's interesting to see how it plays out. Once we tell... Oh! Somebody knows. Oh shit. Someone figured it out. Someone figured it out. Alright. Somebody has already figured it out. And we're starting to see the first of changes on the server. I think Egg Salad Bar is the one who figured out what it is. Alright. Everybody is an admin, or at least I'm trying to make everybody an admin as quickly as possible, but, I did set up Dino to, or not Dino, Me6 to make everybody admin, so it didn't work out, but, it is kind of interesting. People know now, I think, that this is indeed, everyone is admin. Okay, we're just gonna let's just change the server name to everyone is admin, and then people might start realizing. Alright, as of this exact moment, everyone is an admin, so we do have everybody as an admin now, so that is good to see. I'm assuming that people will probably break the invites pretty soon, unless that's what's already occurred, but everybody is an admin, so we can see what all breaks down. Obviously, it's pretty toxic off the bat. We got Moscow, everything was moving around. This is beautiful already. So, yeah. Everybody's an admin. Let's just see how it all plays out. Alright, so I'm gonna let this server kind of do its thing for probably a few days, and we're gonna see if it can actually be resurrected by the admins who have already destroyed the server. This is gonna be kind of a test over a weekly period, and we're just gonna see if it can change, or if it's doomed to be a hellscape forever. How can a server like this develop? That's kind of the whole point of this video. Slowly, we're kind of seeing the beginning of the, I don't know, what would you call it? You'd call it the rebuilding period. It's kind of been about an hour since we started the server. But, I mean, people are kind of rebuilding it. It's not as toxic as it was when we started. There's still a few people trying to destroy it, and, for the most part, though, a lot of the trash chats are getting deleted. Obviously, the number kid, he went all out. He had like 100 of these chats. But for the most part, a lot of the chats are kind of changing up. Things are getting a little bit more peaceful as we kind of start seeing the beginning of a rebuilding process, I think. And obviously, everybody's an admin, so the server can change drastically quickly. But at the moment, the server is starting to rebuild a little bit. And it'll be interesting to see overall, like, what happens in this rebuild process, and like overall how the server changes. And it says Raider looked at this, and it's the OK sign. But yeah, we're gonna see how the server changes, and it'll be kind of interesting to see how it progresses. All right, we had another purge attack, but the server is kind of more or less devolved into Catlantis, Honk Honk, and Never Gonna Give You Up. So the server is, I would call this a rebuilding renaissance period, more or less. The server is kind of rebuilding, and it's not as bad as it was. if we're looking at what it was about an hour or two ago. So the server is undergoing a rebuilding process, and it's kind of interesting to see how it forms up. Clear at the end of day 1 for the most part that Catlantis is currently the conquering faction within the server. Honk being a close second, and a lot of different small attacks and whatever going on. But for the most part, Catlantis is winning at the moment. There's a lot of different conflicts occurring within the all admin server, which has now been changed to Golden Weed apparently. But the server changes very often. A lot of the people who were hardcore going against Discord TOS we banned, because obviously you have to ban them because it's against Discord TOS. But for the most part, the server has stabilized, and it is kind of interesting. We're going to kind of see overall in the next couple of days how it plays out. But for now, this is kind of a wrap up for day 1. So the server's kind of progressed a little bit. The Honkistan and Catlantis and everybody else, Ivan, everybody's at war at the moment. There's a lot of different countries forming up, and Penguin Land, the South Texas, the Meow allies are falling apart with Catlantis going all over the place. Lots of different conflicts are starting to break out, and we're starting to see a destabilization once again. It was very stable for quite a while actually, and you can kind of see the remnants of where it was stable. Different countries were kind of forming up, but we're starting to see some small conflicts break out, and I think that's going to kind of begin the big conflict of everybody has admin. What's really to stop them from deleting all the different countries that they're rival with? Because that's kind of what's formed up at this point, is just different factions on the Discord, which is kind of interesting to watch. So after a day of kind of, letting the server do its thing, it was in a really bad state for, I think it was about 2 hours, because I invited a lot of people to the server and they destroyed it again. But it rebuilt for the second time, and it actually, rebuilt Honkistan, the Doggy Lantis, which has now been renamed to Doggy Land apparently. Catlantis still survives, and Penguin Landia. A new one, we got Cosmos, or I think it's Cosmo, or no, Cosmic's Chaos Kingdom. Applin Town, we got a trade channel, Russian Arms. I think the server's called Russian Pokemon at the moment, but the server has gone through a lot of different changes. I think in terms of the Cold War we saw, I think the Honkistan have won with the Soviets, but for the most part the server has just more or less turned into a continuation of like my Pokemon server. So if you give everybody admin, like we did, everybody on the server has admin, except for I guess some of the bots, but that's alright. But for the most part, the server does survive, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, it turned out to be a pretty nice place for the most part, so maybe I don't need to be an admin, maybe I can just give everybody on the Pokemon server admin, and it would turn out just fine from the looks of it. But yeah, overall, I mean, it doesn't appear to be a very big deal. If you give everybody on your server admin, they just kind of do whatever. I'm assuming if it was different communities, it would be a lot different of an outcome. My Pokemon community is fairly chill for the most part, and overall they built a pretty good server, so I think, it just depends on what community we're talking about here, but for the most part, I mean, I would call this a success. So I'll see you gamers for the next one, and stay healthy. Peace.